Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all joining us for the DRBMiller introducing Going Under.
Welcome to the beautiful city of Neo Cascadia. Did you have a nice monorail ride? We at Cubicle would like to congratulate you on joining the ranks of over 100,000 employees hired through the Impoverished Intern Initiative. As the largest e-commerce corporation in the nation-state, we're proud to support the next generation of innovators. It might be hard to believe, but Cubicle started out as nothing more than a great idea from someone just like you. Like so many Neo-Cascadian success stories, Cubicle began as a startup. Just a couple guys in a garage with nothing but a dream and a modest cash injection. That's why we're paying it forward. Since the inception of our company, we've acquired countless startups and provided them with funding and hard workers to help accelerate their success. Our friendly integrated AI has assigned you as a marketing assistant at our latest member of the family, Fizzle Beverages. By inventing a sparkling water that's also a meal replacement, Fizzle cleverly disrupted two industries at once. There's no better place for an intern to grow than somewhere like Fizzle, where you'll never be the smartest person in the room. When you're not hard at work with Fizzle, you'll have plenty of time to experience some of the rich Pacific Northwestern culture our great city has to offer. Now, let's go over some ground rules for your internship. First of all, never, under any circumstances, explore beneath the
A warm welcome to all of our friends, fans, community members, participants, squad mates and viewers on various platforms. Thank you for joining us, thank you for watching our new episode of DRBMiller introducing, this time it is Going Under, a game offered through Xbox this weekend for free, and in addition to this one we have also Descenders, and we'll be introducing both games today. Part of our usual DRBMiller introducing series. So hopefully everyone is well, healthy, safe and indeed at home, adhering to social distancing and abiding by the rules. A very lovely, warm, spring-like day outside today in my local area, and probably the first bite of sunshine for quite a few days. Last night was very cold, and I think when I woke up in the morning was still fairly nippy, but as the day pushed on, the temperatures rose and we are enjoying a proper spring sunshine out here in London suburbs. But to tell you the truth, I have not seen much of it. I've seen just some sunlight outside, not gone out obviously for the obvious reasons, and I'm here indoors with my favourite games. And before we crack on with going under, I'll give you a bit of introduction on the game as well. I want to tell you that I've gone back to The Witcher 2 and I'm revisiting it through its Ultimate Remastered Edition, and I've got to say I almost forgot how good The Witcher is. Honestly, I've listened to Jeff and Larry recently in the podcast on Xbox, and I think Jeff said that he considered The Witcher 3 to be the very best RPG he ever played. And I've not played The Witcher 3 yet, I've got to confess, and I do have it both on PlayStation and Xbox. So I think we'll give it a go very, very soon on either of these platforms, maybe stream the game as well. But there is a lot to do and little space and little time for all the games to be looked at and played through. In fact, last night I also listened to Joseph Fares, the creator of Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, a very, very well-known internet personality, film director, graphic designer, a legend as they would describe it, through Xbox podcast, and he talked in an interview about the difference, the shift that had taken place generally in the gaming community, and he felt that through the introduction of massive multiplayers online and the games with a massive content which were never ending, lots of gamers were forgetting about the quality experience, and they didn't have the drive to complete a game. And they'll start out on a game and then do a bit of it and then migrate to another. And I think he's quite right. I think that is a tendency or trend that's been stimulated by the easy access to games on streaming services. I certainly did find myself frequently hopping from one game to another, having a look, and not really paying attention to the fully immersive experience that a game would provide you with. And that's just something that comes like collateral, and it's down to the player to really adjust his mindset in order to stimulate everything that is on offer properly, correctly, appropriately, and for the game to be fully experienced. I think they had some discussion on the podcast between the intentions of the developer, basically what the developer wants gamers to do, and then what the people jumping in will actually be doing. And there's usually, well, not usually, but frequently there could be a great discrepancy, and I think we've seen, certainly in the last 5 years, that the vast majority of game developers will be relying on feedback coming from the community on Reddit and on Twitter, and then eventually they'll adjust what's on offer in order to satisfy the community members. This is particularly the case for the games like Fallout 76 and the big open world games, which perhaps had some technical problems initially and people got very angry. They wanted some adjustments, and overall the developer had to be relying on the feedback and adjusting in order to sustain sales and ensure the longevity of that particular title. So we've seen that developing even more with all the other open world games, with Destiny in particular, and also I think we did see some developments with the games like Red Dead Redemption, Cyberpunk, and Anthem, and all the other ones where the interactivity between people who bought the game early, pre-ordered, participated, and then the developer was really at its height. So coming back to the earlier point, I think Joseph Fares was just trying to re-emphasize that if you're having a shorter game or even a medium-sized game of, let's say, 30 to 40 hours of gameplay, what's important is for you to be exploring everything and not thinking about the next title. For anyone who's a streamer, broadcaster, this may be an issue if you're an avid gamer in addition to your streams, because streams will take up a lot of time, both live on air and the preparation for them, and therefore you may be pushed. But still, I think it's a very, very valid point. I absolutely agree with what he said. I caught myself a few times thinking, you got this on your list. It's a lengthy list of titles and you've got to get through them. And you've tried this one, that one, 20 games already that you basically began to play, and you've not finished any of them. So, the idea is, well, for myself, certainly, I have my to-do book, and I have my checklist, and I have the overall system through which I operate. But I had to be increasing the number of games I'll just have a look at compared to the ones I'll start out on and then play in full. So generally it would be one open world game and one maybe tactical shooter or FPS or battle royale that I will be doing at the same time. It's not wise to be mixing shooters with 2 or 3 open world games and vice versa, because you really want to have enough time to explore either of the worlds, and obviously the games are significantly different. In fact, I'm telling this because I've gone back to The Witcher 2, and the game is so gripping. It has such good storytelling, and you're being drawn into that world so intensely that you really cannot leave. You want to find out what is there around the corner, and I'm playing it on an easy level because I want to be enjoying the story as much as possible, and you'll have plenty of it in all 3 installments of this wonderful CD Projekt Red franchise series, I should say. It's not franchise, and we are really looking at every single corner, with every character, with every monster, every creature, to find out as to why the Witcher was being brought in order to resolve certain conflicts, and you're really kind of curious about his abilities and his relationships with all the characters. So really, really important, because it's been a while since I had a game that really brought me in like that. I think if we are considering Elder Scrolls, Oblivion and Skyrim, if we are looking at Mass Effect and Fallout, if we are looking at Dragon Age in particular, in fact, these are the games that will give you that element of wanting to find out, wanting to explore, wanting to look at the open world, and indeed persisting in your exploration and activity continuously. So it's just really wonderful, but it's it doesn't feel addictive. You really want to do it because you're curious, a bit like when you read a book, and I find that to be an astonishing achievement amongst the creators of such games, because I remember reading books years back where that was so intense, the story was so great that you simply would not drop the book before you basically finished it cover to cover. And it's the same sort of thing that some of these games have. And I have to say, because I played, certainly during the last 3 years, the vast majority of the games through PvP, and the genre was primarily Battle Royale and FPS, being the most popular, attached to my channel, and obviously coming in on requests from very many community members. I sort of not played really Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and RPGs of that type already for a great number of years. It's been just great to be reminded of how great they are, and I think, like Mr. Farris said yesterday, these games will have a secure, long shelf life, because people want to revisit them again and again, and they will want to try the characters and stories, to explore the story on a number of separate occasions. I guess his games are basically based on co-op, and you will be getting an online activity with a buddy that you need to get through in order to explore the world, to get to know more about the story, to push forward to get your achievements. And like I said, it's very important that you get perhaps the same buddy to be playing the game together with you in order to acquire that degree of continuity. I think for us, the streamers, the difficulty is certainly fairly sizable if you're looking at the games like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, as they require continuity with your streams. Battle Royale games in PvP, they will have separate matches which begin and end, and you do not have to have a viewer following the game from day 1 until the day 50, and I think that has its own pros and cons, and certainly we've seen with the games like Oblivion and Skyrim, if streamed, or Mass Effect, that you will need to have that degree of continuity. Your streams will need to be labeled and numbered for people to go back in time and basically explore the sections which they missed out on, and that is generally the strategy. Alright, so today we are looking at this game, and I'm very, very curious to see what is ahead of us. It looked like a very, very interesting strategy game, in fact, from what I gathered right from the beginning, a bit like an advert for a major corporation. So we are going to have a look at a few details first. So this game was produced by a company called AgroCrab, and it's been published by Team 17. It came out on the 24th of September of last year, released on PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Microsoft Windows and Xbox One. So basically a console release game. I think it came out on Switch first of all. So let me see what they said on Switch about it. They said, Going Under is a satirical dungeon crawler about exploring the cursed ruins of failed tech startups. So it's very political. It's blending in with Silicon Valley and various other problems within the US economy which have been faced in recent years. As an unpaid intern in the dystopian city of Neo Cascadia, you will office junk as weaponry as you make your way through the offbeat procedural dungeons beneath your company campus. Failed businesses no longer just cease to exist, they sink beneath the earth, and the employees are cursed to wander the halls for eternity as monsters. It's your duty to put these monsters out of their misery and repossess their assets so that your boss can afford a new car or something. I have to say, this is probably one of the most original business models and concepts in video gaming I've ever heard. So I'm very curious to see what this is going to be like. And quite frankly, we want to be using DRBMiller introducing for a variety of different types of indie games that are on offer. There we have seen certainly with Echo Generation and Oxenfree, which I introduced here, that they have a huge potential, and through the streaming platforms like Game Pass and PS Now services, they'll get many more participants. They'll be introduced a much greater worldwide audience, and that is just incredibly commendable. It's terrific that Microsoft and PlayStation are doing this. So really, Microsoft in particular, I should say, and I really applaud the developers and the corporations for giving them this opportunity, because otherwise, you know, Fallouts and Mass Effects and Destinies of this world will overtake, and all the other games will be placed on the back burner. I mean, I personally really always enjoyed archaeology, like in libraries, discovering a book you never heard of that looked brilliant with fantastically designed cover. You read it, you loved it, you recommended it to your friends. Same thing with films. Film archaeology is even better. Loads of titles now spanning back 125 years, 26 years already, and you can just discover a film from the 1930s, or a silent film from the teens of the century, or something from the 1970s, and you can recommend it to your friends. You can watch it again. It's the same sort of thing that is already occurring here in video gaming. But I think, considering that the gaming industry is rather young, and certainly with online gaming and multiplayer, we are talking about no longer than maybe 15, about 20 years really, to be fair. But its proper big evolution did take place within the last decade, with all the new advanced techniques and add-ons being brought to the fore, and then us being able to do it together with other people around the globe on streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube. So that is definitely the future, and we want to see such games getting a much greater prominence, and we want them to be maybe introduced and recommended through various streamers' channels, maybe through some blogs, maybe through various other online hubs that will be dedicated to that degree of exploration. I mean, we see that with films in particular. I run another big online hub called Film Dialogue, which in fact has been placed on back burner, and that's not really great, due to the fact that I've been so involved with video gaming, and due to the community having such great input and connectivity in here. And therefore, in due course I'll be running both of these consecutively, and we have some days dedicated to video gaming, other days dedicated to film. But at the moment, like in this game where you're looking at startups, unless you invest your time and effort and your energy and your enthusiasm and your passion, the startup will fail. And in real life, that simply means it's gone. But in this game, it's also telling you that the employees will go underground and they'll turn into monsters. So that's quite a concept. Very curious to see what this is going to be like. But coming back to films, you have lots of online hubs and people on Twitter doing recommendations of what to watch during a particular day. Very popular in the US, in Britain as well. And I have several associates who are recommending certain films, together with me of course, and we are all very much engaged with the business of recommending what we watched previously, what we remember to be very, very good, or what we watched recently in cinemas, and therefore trying to expose films which otherwise are perhaps not as well known to a wider audience. It's very important, because if there's no interest, there's no investment, and there's no investment, there'll be no filming. And we've seen many years really prior to the invention of the digital, how for instance lots of filmmakers struggled to get into the mainstream on the global scale, and it was particularly difficult for those who wanted to be on the edge doing the avant-garde experimental films. There was no investment. They had to be literally begging for money and maybe working day and night in menial jobs in order to raise revenue to buy reels of film. And then filming would be very, very restrictive because they had only a small number of reels of film, and if something went wrong, if the lighting wasn't good enough, then everything would be wasted. And those experimental films were resorting to various techniques through which the concepts and forms could be developed in order to suffice the lack of investment or the lack of everything, the infrastructure that was necessary. And they were toying with the idea of being as creative as possible with as little input as possible. By that I mean as little input in terms of the finance and human resources. And there were some absolutely remarkable films made over the years which are a true kind of archaeological treasure if discovered, and certainly highly recommended to absolutely everyone. Many of those are on YouTube. If you're interested in avant-garde experimental cinema, just go to my Film Dialogue Cinematheque Online, which is on YouTube. I have a section in there for experimental films, several thousand films for you to watch instantly, free of charge. Just click and watch, enjoy, become knowledgeable, get more knowledge on what film history is about. And the best way to do it is just simply by watching Martin Scorsese, Francois Truffaut, and Quentin Tarantino. They will tell you straight away that the way they learned their trade was purely through watching films. So why not? Why not? You can also do exactly the same. Just join the club, hit that button, play, and watch it with ease at any given time. The beauty of it is you can watch films on all devices today: mobile phone, television sets, projectors, laptops, tablets, you name it, and irrespective of where you are. So that's not been the case when I was growing up, and I had to be going to my local cinema, and I had to wait for prints, and there were all kinds of other issues. So as we said, the new systems are giving us some pros and cons. There are some challenges, and certainly we've seen if there are too many things on offer, people have got a difficulty in retaining their attention and being focused on one thing alone. So today we'll be looking at the games offered on Xbox this weekend for free, and it's quite an unusual combination. Usually we have at least one or two major blockbusters and then one indie thrown in. In this instance we have Descenders, a game which is about cycling, a sports game, and then we have also Going Under. As you can see, it's a kind of a platformer. I think it was a strategic type of game, but in any case we'll find out as we carry on. So without further ado, I think we need to step in. We've seen that our characters were describing the company. They already tried a few things in order to revive the failed businesses, and now we are going to be introduced to the full story. So let's just crack on. Jackie says, "Hey, not to be rude, but I already know all this stuff. I had to watch the same video when I applied online." "Oh, is that so? Then let's skip the formalities and get right to the fun part. I bet you're excited to meet your new co-workers, Jacqueline." "Yeah, I can't wait." "In that case, let's get this icebreaker underway. Just follow me over to Oh Not Again." What was that? Wow. Looks like the monsters have started escaping from the basement yet again. I really hate to do this to you on your first day, Jackie. Do what to me? Well, we can't go having a meeting with that thing running around the office. So I just need you to do me a small little favor and go kill that monster for me. What? Like kill? Like right now? I never killed a person before. Still not have. You're probably not used to the city life just yet, but here in near Cascadia, everyone kills the first monster sooner or later. If it makes it easier, just pretend you're in a video game and picture its hit points slowly decreasing every time you land a blow. Consider this your first task as Fizzle Beverages news intern. Make us proud. Alrighty. Time to go and kill the monster, I guess. Look around you. Use the right stick to move the camera. New task from Marl. Find a monster and kill it. See, it's funny because these games remind me of my childhood where I read graphic novels and there were all kinds of creatures there that had to be destroyed. And we kids always relished the idea it would be like Doc Savage or Batman or Conan the Barbarian, Incredible Hulk, or all the other characters. That's in the American comic strips, but the European ones were all about heroes. The Sergeant Blueberry, then you had, was he lieutenant? Yeah, he was the lieutenant, and then Corto Maltese, and various other characters in there. So quite a difference. But I just do remember wanting to read those novels in order to eliminate all the monsters. So very similar today, where we'll not be reading some of the graphic novels, but they'll step in and do some of the games on Switch and do exactly the same. Every kid wants to be a hero. He destroyed as many monsters as possible. Let's see what that monster is up there. So how do we do that? Pick up items and attack. Okay, so we need to attack. Achievement, probably. There you go, that wasn't too hard, was it? I feel sick, she says. We've got some crates of antacid flavour fizzle in the back. You did a great job, Jackie. Thank you. It's just one tiny little extra step we got to take care of. That's the dungeon and kill the rest of them. What? No way. You need like an exterminator or something. Well, it will not be too hard, I promise. You took out that one so easily. There's probably need 3 or 4 more lurking down in that side. I said, no man, find someone else. I'm not going down there. Alright, so be it then. I really had high hopes for you, Jackie. I reviewed your resume personally. But if you haven't got the motivation to work at Fizzle, maybe I should ask Avi to reconsider your position here. Ah, she's not happy. Wait! Yep. I'll do it. I'll go down there and take a look. Oh, excellent. I knew I saw the spark in you, Jackie. I knew you had it. Come back and see me as soon as you've cleared out all these monsters. Don't take too long down there. Stand up is in 15 minutes. Investigate the purple side. Need to pick this up. We need to enter in there. Hang on, what's this? Going, juggling, tapping brakes, docking points, breaching contracts. This is like an ad. Well, it's a satire on American businesses and the way they run advertising industry. Up. Okay, we got that one. It's more mighty. More powerful. Oh, look at this. Go away. I walked into that fire. It's my own silly thinking, really. My own fault. Ah. Failed to meet expectations yet again. Wonder why? What's the reason for that? Does anyone know? Regarding the unacceptably long bathroom breaks taken by contractors, he's a proper monster. What is this going to say? From now on, all toilet seats will be angled at 45 degrees to encourage... I smell something. I smell... a productivity blocker. Are you the boss around here? I got sent down here to let you know you guys aren't supposed to be. We have no time for hold-ups. Not at this stage of the job. Eliminate this blocker, contractors, and then we will resume our daily setup. Do not try to sneak away to the bathroom after the battle or I will know. Oh no. Thank you everyone for joining me for our daily stand-up. Told us it was mandatory. And this one, first things first, I'd like to introduce you all to our new intern. Everyone put your hands together for Jacqueline Fiasco. I'm here. I'm here. Am I late? A new hire? Jeez, the budget's tight enough as it is. I believe Miss Fiasco is unpaid. Oh, thank God. Jacqueline, why don't you break the ice by telling us a bit about yourself? Start with your name, your favourite flavour of fizzle, and your deepest, most passionate abs. You just told us a name. Be cool, Cara. My favourite fizzle flavour is, I guess, Shekon apricot. I dream of one day having health insurance. Oh, a bold choice of flavour. I like already. Check is here for... what was the ad for again? Marketing. A marketing internship. Who's she interning for then? I thought AV took care of our marketing. Try to be more open-minded, Cara. Abstinence equals obsolescence. Just because all of advertising and PR is handled by a cutting-edge neural network doesn't mean that there isn't room for human touch here and there. Well said, sir. Fern, what's abstinence? As for her specific duties, I'm sure AB could come up with something. Till then, think of Jackie like our own little office assistants. If you need a helping hand with anything, do not be afraid to ask. Must admit, it would be splendid to have someone to test my news flavours out on. I could always use a second pair of eyes on the company finance. Whenever I guess I'm on board, the less we have to run machines around here, the better. You mean even I get to tell her what I do? Nice to meet you, everyone. I need another biscuit. So let's see what else. And speaking of which, how about we close out this stand-up with our company chant? Fantastic idea, sir. I think I am. What do we make? Fizzle. What can we do? Replace breakfast, lunch, and why do we make it? Come on, guys, you know this one. It's to make the whole world a better place. Alright, indeed. How can I forget? They usually get it right. It's a Monday, you understand. Like a family run here. You'll see soon, Jackie. Can't wait. Well, that concludes our daily stand-up. Have a great work day, everyone. Jackie, stay after the meeting. We need to discuss our little goblin problem. Achievement unlock, icebreaker. Meet your co-workers. Sounds good. Talk. So did you make it? Make it where? To the bottom. The bottom of the dungeon. Where the boss hangs out. Does it look like I made it? I totally got my backside kicked. I'll be real with you, I don't even think it's possible to make it that far. That's right, Jackie. You're gonna need to start thinking more positively if you want to make any progress. You don't think someone else might be better suited for this job, do you? The ad said this was a marketing internship. I'm not cut out for fighting monsters. Don't like the situation any more than you do, Jackie. With those goblins constantly crawling up from underground and stealing our office supplies, we're never going to be able to meet our milestones. Deal with our little monster issue, and I promise we'll have you writing social media posts faster than you can hit the dabs. Or whatever kids your age do. So I guess you want me to try again? You guess right. Hang in there, Jackie. You'll be done with this task before you know it. Engineer, you like computers then? Who told you that? Who's a good girl? Girl, boy? Doesn't matter, she's a dog. She's a she though. She's a good girl. Okay, I've seen that. Select a mentor. Okay. No skills selected, no mentor assigned. Next, right? can't believe that I had my button, the mic button switched off. Talk to him again, I have to read the all that's been said. Talk to him again. Speak to him again. Well, I was just going to say that this is a wonderful game, and I'm astonished by the quantity of good, high-quality content, the political satire, its good narrative, and everything else is just really the best possible. And having it offered free of charge on Xbox for the whole weekend is a true joy. Everyone should try the game. Most highly recommend it to everyone. I already talked about it on Twitter, and I think what I'll do is I'll send a message to Jeff and Larry indicating that I'm in love with the game, and thank you for introducing it and for drawing the attention to the game. I keep forgetting what it's called, Going Under. It's really cool, and it's the best possible way through which you can experience games. On one hand, to be subscribed to streaming services, on the other, to be downloading and exploring games offered free of charge, and that includes Xbox Gold monthly games as well as the weekend freebies. Can't be better. I don't think any other service on Earth is offering you many more enjoyable games for free compared to what you get on Microsoft services, and it's quite different to what they used to be like 15 years ago. But I think with Phil Spencer as the head of Xbox, they really became very, very customer, user and gamer friendly, and we're getting the very best possible introductions to so many different games. And he did say in some of his interviews, he discovered that the vast majority of people, because of himself, after trying a game which was on Game Pass, they just purchased it because they loved the game. And that is exactly what I did. Not just as a one-off, but very, very frequently. And this is the game I'm going to be buying. I love it. Same like Oxenfree and all the other ones introduced here previously. Pick up a spear, and we need to get some food, I think. Something like this. Delicious alternatives to home ownership. So basically, when you get some munch, you're also increasing your health. So that's important. Can I talk to him again? I want to talk to him. Can't talk to him. Okay. Sit down and have a cup of tea. Fun. What's this now? Going upstairs yet again. Let's go back in. Or not. Correct. Skills. I'm completely unskilled. Mentor. Mentor. It's not there. So what do we do next? Ah, the other way. What does a girl got to do to get a decent cup of coffee? All we've got is coffee made to fizzle, which is half a can of that stuff makes me feel quite cheap. You're new here, but I do not suppose you can pick me up on an espresso machine for the best. That sounds doable. They seem to drink a pot of coffee down in the dungeon. Dungeon? Yeah, the dungeon in the office. bandwidth generation is crazy lingo. Come back to that espresso machine with white fast side, okay? An espresso machine with getting lots of new jobs, but I'm not succeeding in defeating all the enemies, and I need to discover what appears to be the best, the most powerful weapon. Pencils and brooms didn't seem to do the job. Now I picked up a skill. So what is it? What is this place anyway? It's the Joblin office. Can't believe they accepting contractors who do not even know the name of the company these days. I do not work here, okay? For one, I'm not a goblin. Alright. What else would you be? A human? Have an espresso, kid. Maybe that'll set your mind straight. Well, I do need espresso. I haven't got enough money. So I need to be battling it out. Before I get the money.
Enjoy your cube.
Point club is in there. That's hilarious. Look at this. Look at that. What's the money then? I guess Yes. You know what, this looks like a better one. Oh, that's like
Delivery for Jacqueline.
so these are the skills I picked up, so that's good. Just lost my club in there. That's annoying. Down to the bottom, I think.
Delivery for Jacqueline.
So good. Look at this. Where's that espresso now? Hang on.
Good.
You feeling any better, fellow Joblin? I keep telling you I'm not a goblin. Well, first of all, are we alright? We are Joblins. Okay. Second of all, no humans made it this far into the office in nearly decades. See why now? There shouldn't be any difference. Third of all, you better not be a human, or I become contractually obligated to kill and eat you. Oh wow! Would you look at that? I'm a Joblin after all. No humans here. I sure hope so. Eating humans, it's not very good. Huge waste of time. I don't even get to bill for it. Feels like classic. I need to have that espresso. I see. So these are like tools, and those ones are. That's latte. That's not espresso. These are classic. Just one. Sorted. But on the other hand, I haven't got any money, so can't do anything else. Tricky old game, you know? Hi Jackie, hey Tappy. How goes the numbers and stuff? You okay? We look straight up zombie fights. Keep bashing my head against this dungeon, but nothing seems to work. So let's try and never reach the bottom. These like metaphors or? My name is Jackie. Hi Beeb. Name's Spot and where it's at. Swamp like marsh. Well, every marsh contains the plant's definition, whereas a swamp can spawn with varieties of tree, but yeah, pretty much, when it's spelled wrong. Nice to meet you, Jackie. We should hang out. Yeah, sure thing. Not getting any skills. I'm not happy. Reach the bottom, Joblin defeat the boss by an espresso machine from Joblin Cafe. It's the other way, isn't it? Runs 2, wins 0. Well, says it all.
Have a great day.
I failed yet again. So I think my conclusion is that this is a very good game. I'm loving it, and I'll keep playing it. I'll buy it. I need to see what the price is. Probably offered on a greatly reduced price, considering offering it this weekend for free, which is usually the case with Microsoft and Xbox. Anytime you have freebies or special offers, you get massive discounts. Very, very political and very well embedded within the American industrial world mindset, but stinging everyone who's running corporations. As you can see, they're talking about the health insurance and the pay cuts and low wages and all sorts, the conditions of work. So all sorts of things there that concern everyone who works for one of these big companies. Thanks for taking this meeting, everyone. To today's stand-up, we have the rare pleasure of being joined by the founder of Fizzle himself. Founder? Give it a moment. Mort's Jam Stars. Yay! That's the kind of good vibe I'm talking about. Just when it's fine, though, remember, we are all brothers here. As you all know, Fizzle Beverages was recently acquired by Cubicle, the world leader in machine learning and drone shipping operations. And we have more money than we can possibly spend. This is the end game every entrepreneur dreams of. Shabam. But it'd be a mega waste. I can't even talk properly today. It'd be a mega waste if we slept on the Cubicle super rad tech and didn't integrate it into some even super radar projects of our own, right? But that in mind, I'll pass the mic to our very own smart officer, AB. AB, please tell us about the new product. Hello friends, isn't the weather decent today? After testing over 10 billion scenarios in my official Cubicle model universe, I determined the most effective business decision for Fizzle with a shrewdness index of 503. Raymond, drop Announcing Fizzgo, the Fizzle companion app. By making use of Cubicle's leading-edge user-forward data cloud, customers will be able to track their Fizzle consumption, have new flavors recommend to them, and share their Fizzle experiences to our new built-in social network. Wow, sounds like everything I really hate. Yo, AB, please tell me I've got nothing to do with this project. Marv, who is this negative Natalie? That's your lead software engineer, so I've got good news for you. I'm officially pivoting the entire Fizzle development team to work on Fizzgo starting today. That's good news, right? What were you upset about again? You kidding me? The whole team? that's completely and utterly nuts. Who's going to maintain the website or our internal tools? Nuts over squirrels, baby. I'm sure the programmers will figure it out. With all the dope 10x's on this team, I'm 200% sure we can crush this without breaking a sweat. Alrighty, anyone else has any questions? Preferably ones that are not total. Will this affect the flavors? Of course not, Fern. I know the flavors are your baby's bro. Could never rob you of control over what you're passionate about. Sounds like it's all smooth sailing. I'll distribute some company funds right away so everyone can help beta test the app. Just like a fun group project. Well, a team isn't everything like a group project. That's the spirit, Yankee. Everyone will have their part to play in physical development, from the engineers who make it to everyone else, who gives unsolicited feedback at all hours of the day. Heck yeah, brother, I knew I'd pick the right project manager. I'd high-five all of you, but I've totally tweaked my wrist playing e-tennis. You'll just have to imagine it. That concludes today's stand-up, everyone. Don't forget to check the employee kiosks for your new tasks. Don't forget to check your butt for my foot, Marv. Apps unlocked. Find them through the dungeon. So this is the smart office everyone's talking about. You don't look so smart to me. What's 63 to the power of 429? What's the capital of Near Cascadia? Hello? The app doesn't know what to do. Smart. Great. I know this place, aren't you? It's very strange. It must be our new little getter. Intern. Yep. Your generation's lucky as heck. You know, you wish I'd be able to start gaining experience at such a young age. Then I wouldn't have to go bankrupt 3 times before I find success. Sounds rough. Bet it was. Starting game is all about as small kid. If we pay to take our phones from your parents, I'll keep this in mind. You're fair, right? Indeed, I'm the lead flavorist here. Oh, cool. So you met the fizzle flavors, do you? That sounds like fun. I'll be back in 30 seconds. cool. So you invent the fizzle flavors. That sounds like real fun. It's more stressful than you could possibly imagine, Jack Lee. But I do it for the art of flavor. Oh. You're just building your skills with these percentages, so you don't get them straight away. Well, it's interesting because they talk here of startups and companies that resemble Twitter, Facebook, and the big ones, and we've heard stories about how exploitative some of these companies really are towards their employees, everyone being an intern, not being paid, working on hours, working to a degree which requires professional knowledge, experience and commitments, and honestly it baffles me. The whole idea of startup is so good natured and so noble, and then people just come in and want to exploit it. Obviously if you're setting up your own company with 3 or 4 of your friends, everything will be hunky-dory, but when you're growing it, you need to consider all the implications. You ever try just lighting a bunch of stuff on fire out of boredom? No? It's pretty fun. Great way to release some kinds of anger. Not that I have any of that. I don't know, sounds a bit dangerous. Would think so, but it's not so scary when you have a secret trick. The secret trick is to stand away from the fire. Well, mind you don't think of this. Next time you're in the dungeon, you ought to try picking up one of those big torches and just going to town. I'll regret it, I promise. Light a bunch of stuff on the fire. 30. Very interesting how this works. This is not like a big massive open world, but you're entering continuously into the dungeon, and you have all these different stories. So I'm really amazed with the quality. Quite frankly, never heard of a game before, and I'm really loving it. I write a letter to the developer and tell them how enjoyable the game is, and in fact I introduced it here, I'll introduce it to the rest of our community, and people can watch the playback and just the greatest possible stuff. Okay, we'll have one more run and then we'll migrate to the Descenders. The Descenders, actually Descenders rather than the Descenders. Descenders is another game I'm interested today through DRB introducing, and I think it's all fitting to have such great feel-good games on a wonderful spring sunny afternoon right here in North London suburbs. Then after Descenders, we'll migrate to Warzone. Our friends will be trigger happy and waiting. I know. Our regiment is growing. 100 members in no time. Then we'll have a brigade and then a battalion. Not just a regiment.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Spice Club. New job available.
All your materialistic needs fulfilled.
Job of Warhammer. That sounds quite good. Job of
Thank you for your business.
Where's that? Self-care. Alright, that's extra health. I was gonna be killed in there. That's annoying. Anyway, moving forward. Alright, my friends, I think that's probably all that we had for you here in DRBMiller introducing Going Under. Definitely a very, very good, entertaining, enjoyable indie game. Never heard of it before. This weekend got introduced to it by Xbox team and indeed tried it, as you could see, live on air. Very, very good sort of satire of American startup stroke setup industry, similar to what we had with Facebook, Twitter, and all the other online hubs. Very, very critical, very political, very much in sync with all the issues that these companies are experiencing today in the US. And on the top of that, it is very entertaining, enjoyable, plenty of humorous dialogue, and a lot of action. And it's a proper kind of dungeon crawler, you could say it, but it is also blending in with those political realities and a very, very good story. So very, very good. 10 out of 10 for me. And I think we're not going to be continuing with anything anything else story related, because we have another game that I want to introduce to you, Descenders, and it's a sports game. For the first time, it's going to be a baby stream of a sports game here on DRBMiller channel. So stay with us. We'll be back in 5 minutes with another big title offered here to us for free on Xbox, and we want to try it. We want to find out what Descenders are like, and then as we complete the second installment of our DRBMiller introducing today, we'll migrate yet again to the world of Verdansk and Warzone. So stay with us for a lot more. We'll be back in 5 minutes.